Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason. We live in Southwest Ohio, if you're not familiar with us, okay? And in Southwest Ohio, we have an average yard, okay? Half-acre lot, and we only use the back half of our half-acre lot, okay, to grow our food in and raise our chickens and whatnot. So small space gardening is very important to us. We started off our gardening and food growing journeys living in an apartment with just a 2-story townhouse type deal where we had a back patio, and we grew all of our food that we grew, by the way. Not all of our food, but all of our gardening was done on that back patio, right? So it's been container gardening, small space gardening, using our spaces as efficiently as possible. And so today we want to talk about the 7 keys, our 7 keys to successful small space gardening, okay? And what those things are. The first key for us is use containers, all right, because you've got to figure out how to get more real estate technically than what you already have. So if you want to try and get more real estate, more land, more soil to grow in, you got to have a container so that you can put soil in there. You got to buy that soil and put it in a container. So for us, the basic container that we use is a grow bag. There's your grow bag right here. That's some leftover dirt and soil from last year. And this is about a 15-gallon grow bag. That's a basic grow bag. It's a good entry-level container. You can buy them on Amazon for in multi-packs or any amount of sizes. A whole lot of variety there that you can buy in, and they're wonderful. You can grow anything in them pretty much. We even planted blueberry bushes in some. Second key for us is to go vertical. Grow your food as vertical as possible. Use trellises when you can. Use teepees. Buy some bamboo stakes and make good teepees out of them. And also, invest in a green stalk. These are absolutely wonderful. It is our favorite container, really, and it's a good vertical container. Now behind me is our green stalk that we've got some lettuce and spinach and cabbage and pak choi growing in. It's got a green stalk cover on it as well. It is a wonderful vertical container, okay? It does great. We have an affiliate link and code below. Use our link and our code ART10, ART10, and you'll get $10 off your purchase, $75 or more at greenstalk.com. It is wonderful. We love them. We endorse them because we would use them anyways. They're awesome, and we do highly encourage. If you want to grow vertical, use them. There's all sorts of ways to grow vertical, by the way. Plenty of things that we don't even do that people have done, so you can search that stuff out on Google for yourself. But there's grow vertical, so you grow higher up, right, using all this unused space above your actual dirt. Third thing is succession planning. Some people talk about succession planning meaning like, I'm gonna plant beans this week and then this week and then this week, so you have a succession of harvest. When we talk about succession planning, we're talking about using the same space repeatedly, like planting bush beans in these raised beds, and then in 60 days they're done, rip them out, plant some more, plant something else, whatever. And that green stalk I just showed you, there's lettuce and all kinds of greens in there. When it's done, we're gonna plant bush beans in there. Just don't waste your space, right? So if we've got something that's a quick growing, quick producing variety, we'll plant it, and then we have something else ready to put in its place when it's done and then harvested. So you're not wasting a raised bed, you're not wasting a container, you're just always planting, always planting. You can plant something for spring, then it's going to be done before summer hits, have something ready for summer, and when it's done, have something ready for fall. And you can just keep going like that, and you'll really maximize your production by using the same thing over and over and over. Now the fourth thing is to refertilize that dirt. Okay, if you need to make sure that your raised beds have been refertilized, because you're using the same soil over and over and over again. So that soil is going to be stripped of its nutrients, no matter if the bag of soil that you bought said it had whatever nutrient content in it. It's going to use it up if you're growing in it. So you got to make sure you refertilize that soil, or else it's not going to be productive. The fifth thing is to use your space efficiently. I'm in a corner of our yard that doesn't do anything at all, okay? It is out of the way, up against the fence, up against this house, and there's really nothing here for us. There's not space of the yard we need, or it's just out of the way and be a pain in the butt to mow, really. But we've got a really good cinder block garden raised bed all the way on this edges. So it's a space that does no good for us any other way, but it is growing some garlic. It'll grow some bush beans later. It'll grow some spinach over here. It'll grow onions in these holes. So it's taking a space of our yard that's unproductive and making it very productive. And also use the edges. That's kind of the edges of our yard too. This back fence, we have raised beds down through there, and we got growing food over here on this edge. So you're working from the outside in. By working from the outside in, you're really not recognizing how much space you're losing necessarily. Okay, you could make 2 foot wide garden beds up against your fence, and you really only just narrowed your yard down a little bit, but you got all this space. So like my yard's like 100 foot wide. Okay, and so if I used this fence right here, if it was possible, I could have one bed all the way across here, 2 foot wide. That would be 200 square foot of garden space. And you've not lost any of your yard. Now it's not possible here because of the way the sun hits. Some spots don't get enough sun. But what I'm saying is, if you work from the outside in, you're really not harming yourself, and you're also not creating beds to mow around. You're just edging those beds the same way you would your fence. The sixth thing is use the right soil. You gotta understand in container gardening. Okay, in container gardening, you really need to use potting mix. Okay, the temptation is there to buy cheaper soil. I get it. We've done it. We did that to start with. It doesn't work as well. Okay, raised bed soil makes it sound like, hey, it's good for raised beds or containers. Not necessarily. It may be okay for raised beds, maybe, or maybe okay just to use as a supplement to like your bed that you're making in your own dirt, in your own ground, in your own soil that's already there. You could use it for that. If you're putting soil inside of any type of container, whether it be a green stalk or another kind of resin container, whether it be a raised bed or a grow bag, use potting mix. When you container garden and you're out in the sun, containers heat up, right? Especially resin containers. Grow bags not as much. A resin container will heat up in the sun because it's attracting the heat. It's holding that heat in, and so it's going to compact that dirt. Well, so your roots of your plant doesn't grow as well in compacted dirt. It doesn't absorb water as well in compacted dirt. Potting mix is the way to go. I know it's a little more expensive. Make sure you buy potting mix. You will regret not buying potting mix. Okay, and you can think, oh, I'll buy some compost. It'll compact. All right. What you can do though is reuse that potting mix later. Okay, you can stay in that container, or as we do, I'll take it out of a container and I'll put it in my cinder block bed. Okay, so the dirt from last year's containers is getting put in the cinder block bed or getting piled up over here in the middle, and I'm gonna have it for next year. Okay, so you're not really gonna lose all that soil. You will lose some of it just from harvesting and it settles down, whatever, but you need to make sure you use potting mix in your containers. And the last thing is very simple. Be adventurous. All right. Don't put yourself in a box. Don't think there's anything that you can't do. All right. I just literally do whatever you want to do within reason. But I mean, be adventurous. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to say, I tried this and it didn't work. I mean, we have rhubarb growing right here in a muck bucket, a big plastic bucket that you buy at Tractor Supply that's typically used for cleaning out horse stalls. But we put potting mix in here and a rhubarb crown in here and in here, and you see it's popping up right here for this year. Super productive. I love rhubarb. It's awesome, and we've had trouble getting it to grow in our actual ground, but we put it in those mug buckets with some potting mix and fertilizer. It's doing awesome. And we've got fruit trees planted in mug buckets as well. All through here, these are neck tots. I think that's what this is. These are apple trees. You know, this is a peach tree and a nectarine tree. More apple trees. So we've got trees, fruit trees planted in mug buckets. And you know, they are producing. And we've got blueberry bushes I showed you over there in grow bags. We got rhubarb in a muck bucket. Hey, don't limit yourself. Try, right? Don't be afraid to take risks. I mean, anything that anybody's ever done was a risk at one time, right? Somebody had to do it first. Somebody had to think of the idea. Somebody had to try it. Somebody had to fail, and somebody had to succeed. Don't be afraid to be one of those people that fail, because you might be one of those people that succeed as well. And so by doing that, you do something awesome. All right. So these are our 7 keys to successful small space gardening. All right. And we do thank y'all for watching so much. We do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. Love y'all. God bless you, and goodbye.